Hey guys, welcome back. Autumn is in full swing and I am loving it. We're in October and Halloween is right around the corner, if you can believe it. I am totally enjoying all of the turning of the leaves and the crisp air. Hopefully where you guys are, you're getting a dabble of fall vibes where you are. And if not, then this video is going to be perfect for you because I thought it would be fun to have a roundup of Halloween themed cozies. Now I know in the past I've done a roundup that are kind of related to the season, a little bit of witchiness, a little bit of paranormal, but nothing specific to Halloween, which is why I thought it would be fun since Halloween is just, wow, what, like a couple of weeks away? We could read some cozies to really get into the spirit of all things Halloween, whether you participate or not. I thought that it would be fun because there's so many fun cozies out there for us to live vicariously through that. So as always, if you have read any of these books, please let me know in the comments below which ones are your favorites, which ones you recommend, and of course if I don't list any of the books that you know exist that are Halloween themed and are super fun, let us know in the comments below, because if anything, we are always here to enable each other to expand our TBR with all of the fun cozies. So that said, let's go ahead and dive into the books. Alright, so first up we have the Ghost and Mrs Mirers, which is book 2 in the Paws and Claws mystery series. And in this one, let me see, I'm forgetting the name of the town, but essentially we have a group of kind of like paranormal ghost hunter type people who are coming into the town because they want to investigate different parts of the town that have been known to be haunted. Now, I'm forgetting the name of the town. Wagtail. Yes. Okay. So this town is having their annual Halloween festivities, which we love. Perfect for getting into that Halloween spirit. However, one of these folks who are from out of town coming to do some paranormal investigating, they wind up dead. So more than that, they wind up dead in the same fashion that was allegedly part of this haunting, part of the town's lore, and it's up to our amateur sleuth to not only investigate the death, but to see what the coincidence is between the person being killed today and way back what the legends were that supposedly had this haunting involved. So again, it sounds a little bit spooky because of the whole haunting aspect, but I can assure you, because this is a cozy mystery, you're going to get those cozy vibes. And because the town is preparing for its Halloween festivals, I really wanted to add this one to the list. And there are a couple that you'll see as I go on where it's the town really getting geared up for their Halloween celebrations. And I love having cozies like that around certain times of year, because I find that having a town festival or having a special occasion or party really brings people together, and you get even more of a dose of that seasonal coziness. So this one is a good one to kick off our list. Okay, so next we've got the Diva Haunts the House, which is book 5 in the Domestic Diva mystery series. And the amateur sleuth in this one, her name is Sophie, and she has gone all out with the Halloween decorations in preparation for the occasion, and she's not the only one in town who has done that. Actually, we've got one of her neighbors, I believe her name is Natasha. Yes, so Natasha's also planning to throw a Halloween party, and unfortunately, when Sophie goes, she realizes that one of the guests at Natasha's party winds up dead. That obviously does not bode well for anybody. So it's up to her, and it's also up to the local sheriff, who happens to be her boyfriend, to do some investigating, obviously get down to figure out who did it, and hopefully, you know, get things back into the swing of things just in time for, you know, good Halloween ending, so to speak. I don't know, you never want a murder to happen on or near Halloween. I feel like it makes it even creepier. But again, these are cozies, people. We are living our spoopy, not spooky, lives here. And for those of you who don't know, spoopy is kind of like a take on spooky, but more so lighthearted, cozy, kind of cute. You know, I've seen that all around, and I'm not really a spooky person either, but spoopy, that sounds funny saying it out loud, but the essence of that is something that I can get behind. Think like cute ghosts or you know, drawings where they're looking very like kawaii characters, where things are lighthearted and maybe like pastel colors of Halloween rather than the traditional harsh orange and black. Anyway, that's the whole vibe that we're going for here. Okay, next we have Scared Stiff, which is book 2 in the Maddie Winston mystery series. And I wanted to actually read you the first line because I didn't want to get it wrong, and I thought this really hooked me when I was looking for a Halloween themed cozy mystery. So in this one we have the coroner, Maddie, our amateur sleuth, and her best friend Izzy are called to the home of waitress slash part-time model. Her name is Shannon. Quote, they find the ghoulish Halloween decorations a bit too authentic. So I'm not quite sure what that means, but what I'm kind of getting from that, what I imagine, is that they're called out to this home and maybe Shannon's body is arranged in a way that it looks like the Halloween decorations, where maybe she's like propped up a certain way, or maybe the killer like put other decorations around her. But either way, that definitely sounds ominous. I wanted to read it to you guys exactly how I read it because that hooked me. And again, it's really interesting when we're dealing with Halloween themed cozies because a lot of the descriptions seem like they could be, you know, also a thriller type book, but I assure you with all of the cozy aspects in it and kind of the tone that the author takes in the story, it leans way more into the cozy mystery aspect. So if you're trying to get your Halloween vibes, this is another one that I would recommend. Now in this one, again, like I mentioned, Shannon is a part-time model slash waitress, and the suspect becomes her ex-husband because the two of them were seen having an argument with one another. And of course, as we all know from, you know, all crime documentaries, you always look at the husband or the ex-husband first, and that's exactly what we're doing in this one. It's up to our amateur sleuth, who coincidentally happens to be a coroner, to really find out what happened. Next we have Trick or Treat Murder, which is book 3 in the Lucy Stone mystery series. This is another one that I chose because the town is having another Halloween festival. Again, I love when cozies have festivals and the town is kind of all brought together because you're getting all of those descriptions and everyone is participating. This one is no exception. So the thing is, in this one, while our amateur sleuth slash main character Lucy is gearing up for the town's Halloween festival like everybody else, she's also having to contend with an arsonist that is loose on the town. That sounds like some really heavy stuff, I can't even lie. But you know, naturally she wants to figure out, along with the sheriff in town and all of the police officials, really who is doing this, because it's putting a damper on everything in the town, no doubt. And she's also concerned for the safety of her family, and it's one of those I'm not super familiar with this series, but it's definitely one of those where you've got a couple of different elements going on, all of which seem really intriguing. Again, you've got the town with the Halloween festivities, you've got our amateur sleuth, you know, kind of juggling, doing the sleuthing thing, but also doing the mom thing because she is a parent. And then obviously, you know, you've got the actual crime of the arsonist, which, you know, I have to say that's also not kind of a crime that I see happen in a lot of cozies. So I would be interested to see how they play this one out, or how the author has this one written, because typically what ends up happening is that you've got, you know, for all intents and purposes, one murder that the sleuth is trying to solve. And in this one, of course, you've got a really well-known building in the town that was burned down, but the arsonist is obviously hitting up other places. So it's basically a case of, instead of like one main thing, there's multiple things to contend with, which makes for some interesting plot in a cozy, I've got to say. So next we have Trick or Deceit, which is book 4 in the Celebration Bay series. Again, I chose this one because it deals with another type of festivities happening in the town. Of course, the name of the series also gives it away, because Celebration Bay, they're doing celebrations and town festivities all the time. But again, this one is focusing on Halloween, and to be honest, this one is the one that I think intrigued me the most out of all of the books that I've mentioned, because it features a competition. Now this one, the competition is relating to haunted houses, which I gotta admit, in real life, that's a no for me, but reading it and living through the characters vicariously, sign me up for that. Now, what ends up happening in this one is that the judges, of course, are going to each of the ones to judge which house is the scariest, but one of the houses, the decorations look a little bit too real, and it turns out some of it is not quite decorations. In fact, there is a dead body that is found on the premises, and it turns out to be one of the judges. So of course, all hands on deck trying to figure out what is happening in this one. You know, the town is really kind of put against the wall in terms of not knowing what's going to happen next, and is this going to affect, you know, not only the competition but the Halloween festivities as well. I'm excited for this one, again, because of the contest aspect, like I said, but I've been wanting to read the Celebration Bay series for a while, just because I love the idea of a town really kind of gathering for every kind of occasion. And going for Halloween is my first foray into it, even though it's not the first book in the series. It seems like it's going to be a fun time. Last up, we have Stirring the Plot, which is book 3 in the Cookbook Nook Mystery series. And in this one, of course, it's Halloween, and that means all things witchy and potions and everything like that. And so the owner of the Cookbook Nook store, our amateur sleuth Jenna, she's decided to host an event where it's basically a fundraising event, and the ladies that are part of it are what's the name of their group? The Winsome Witches. They're the fundraising group that has decided to have this event. The host of that group winds up murdered, and so Jenna teams up with her aunt, I believe, yes, to figure out what happened, because was it something paranormal? Was it something where it's supposed to just look like something kind of witchy and suspicious was afoot? I'm interested in this because, again, I like when folks come together during Cozy Mysteries. You know, this one isn't necessarily the town, but to have the event hosted at her shop is something that intrigues me, especially because it deals with cookbooks, which I think is a fun twist or a theme as it relates to the Halloween season. And anytime you've got witches in anything, sign me up. I know that this video is specific to Halloween and less paranormal, but I figured I had to blend the two for at least one of the recommendations. Okay, so there you have it, a handful of Halloween themed Cozy Mysteries. Coincidentally, I believe all of the books that I chose also have pumpkins or jack-o'-lanterns on the cover. That too, I wanted to kind of shoehorn in just to add to that Halloween / trick-or-treat vibe. So hopefully you guys walked away with some good recommendations if you wanted something to read building up to or on Halloween. Again, let me know if you guys have read any of these, and if you did, what you thought of them. And if you have your own Halloween themed cozy recommendations, drop those in the comments as well. So thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. In the meantime, happy reading, and I will talk to y'all later. Happy Halloween. Bye.